What's going? Oh, am I? What's going on, y'all? Hold on. I'm on this Xbox playing Call of Duty. Hold on. I got some unlocking some stuff, y'all. Give me 1 second. Sorry about the noise, y'all. I like to play loud and obnoxious. 1, 2, 3. That's locked. Okay, okay. All right, y'all. What's up, Jason and Shannon Ewing? My brother and my sister is in the building. What's going on, y'all? Today we're going to talk about how well do we know our children. How well do we know our children? You try to raise them to understand or not getting yourself caught up or getting yourself, oh shoot. My computer wasn't plugged up like I thought it was. I need to plug it up. You try to raise them to not get themselves in trouble. My dad was definitely one of the ones that made me understand that I don't want to restart anything. I guess we'll turn off the console for right now. All right, let me get my chair, y'all. Let's talk. Y'all, I'm also, thanks to my gun dad, I'm starting to put my get home bag together. I already started on my bug out bag, which my bug out bag is a lot bigger than that. So if I have to bug out, see the difference. See how big that bag is compared to this bag. So this is just to get me home 24 hours to be able to get me home. I'm building both bags. I'm gonna do both, but I want to get my get home bag done first. If you own a dagger, if you own anything that take PMax, and it's just they don't pay me to say this, but PSA is having a good sale on magazines, man. If you're trying to stock up on your magazines, definitely go to PSA. I just ordered 6 mags for $75. If you order 5 or more mags, you get shipping and handling free. All you gotta do is just pay for the mags and pay for the taxes. So I got me 4 P mags for my dagger, and I got 2 AK 30 round P mags for my AK I just bought off PSA dagger. So just FYI, if you ain't, I kind of took a break probably to October. I'm gonna get myself the Walter PDP for my birthday. It could be my birthday gift to myself. But I'm pretty much stocking up on magazines and ammo. I know they're trying to here in Michigan, trying to go out the capacity. So my best bet is trying to get as many magazines as I can, man. Gina versus Gina, what's going on, sister? Maximus, man, my twin. Got a chance to chop it up with that brother in one of my lives, man. Go definitely Pyro Maximus. Definitely go check him out, man. Definitely family all day long. Arthur Ant Likes Guns. What's going on? Thanks everybody for tuning in. But we aren't talking about children, but I'm kind of sidetracked right now. But definitely, if you have anything to take PMax, definitely go on PSA. The Glock PSA Max was like $11 a piece. The AR, I mean not the AR, but the AK mags was $13 a piece. So I end up with taxes. I think I end up spending like almost 75 to 80, between 75 to 80 bucks. I went into one of my local ranges for 2 Glock mags. They wanted 80 bucks a piece. I mean, 40 bucks a piece. So for 6 mags versus 2 mags, I think I did pretty good. So definitely anything that take a PMAG, definitely go to PSA. They have a great sale on PMAGs. No, I'm not promoted by them to say that, but you know, family, save some money, man. Save some money. So like I said, for 6 mags, I only paid like 80 bucks for all 6. Free if you buy 5 or more, you get free shipping and handling. So you don't have to pay for the shipping and handling, but you have to pay for. I think it's like I think it came up to like $5 in taxes. So hey, I couldn't beat it. The reason why we're going to talk about do we really know our children? Because a lot of times, and I was, I wasn't bad because my dad he was there. He taught about, doing the right thing and how you can get yourself caught up so easy, but it's hard to get yourself out. So I had a father that was there to teach me what to do and what not to do. Now, when I left his presence, did I do some things wrong? Yes. Yes, I did. But I didn't do nothing to the point to where I had to spend time in prison to learn from my mistakes. I remember one time, and I think I was in my 20s. I got my license suspended. I was driving. And my dad always told me, driving is a privilege. That's why you go apply for your license. It's a privilege to be out on the roads and be able to drive and yada yada yada. And I'm young and dumb. Oh, Dad, nah. So I end up having to go pick up my mother-in-law one time from work. And mind you, it's out the hood. So I forgot to turn my lights on. Driving through the dark early in the morning, going to pick up my mother-in-law and forgot to turn the lights on. Well, one of the cops saw me, got behind me, flicked me. Well, I spent some time in jail. I called my dad. My dad was like, well, hey, son, guess what? Go to court, figure out what they want you to do, and handle your business. So that's what I had to do. So for me, I didn't have to go out here in the streets and learn a whole lot in order to get locked up, in order for me to understand what my dad was talking about. My dad was really, really about doing the right, no matter what, doing the right thing. Dang, I gotta put my glasses back on. Y'all, I'm blind as hell. So as far as did my daddy know me well enough to know that if I'm out of his presence, and I did drop the link if anybody want to jump in. I knew that if anybody was doing anything to walk away and go home, we always hope for our children to learn from their mistakes and don't make the same mistakes over and over again. For mine, we keep mine busy. My son is about to play baseball. My daughter is gymnastics and cheer all year round, basically. That's all she does is cheer, gymnastics, and dance. So she's a pretty busy young lady as far as her talent. So we try to keep them busy because there's no rec centers. It's none of that anymore. I remember when I was growing up, we had rec centers. Willie, what's going on, sir? We had rec centers to be able to go and have a good time and play, but that's all gone. So these days you got to kind of keep your children busy, and I'll lead to this with my son. The reason why I did this live today is because of my son. I really thought I knew my kid, and one day he decides that the best thing for him to do is run away. and he's going on 13 this year. So, I had to really think about, do I really know my children? No, I don't know my children, especially my son. And I definitely had to sit down and reevaluate the way I was raising him. I found myself raising him like my dad raised me. Uh, put the fear in them, make sure they scared of you, and that's just the way, back in the day in the South, parents raised their children with an iron fist. So I kind of, after sitting down with my wife and kind of talking to her, I realized that I'm raising my son with an iron fist. And these children are not built for that. I'm kind of glad my dad did raise me with an iron fist, because I don't know where I would be to this day. I wouldn't know how to take care of family. I wouldn't know how to, make sure that, bills are paid first, and you play after your bills are paid. What's up, NY Outcast? What's going on, brother? So you have to balance uh, working and being home to be able to spend some time with your children. What's up, Howard J? Um, they got mini bikes. I mean, my kids got, at the age of 9 and 12, they got way more than what I got. So, my thing was to make sure, if they want it and I'm able to get it, I'm gonna work as hard as I can to get it for them. I give you lists. They got Hoover boards. They got the go-kart seat to go to the Hoover board. They got bikes. They got electric scooters. They got my daughter has an electric like dirt bike. My son had a pocket rocket. They both have mini bikes. They both have iPads. My daughter has an iPhone 14. She got the great. I only got the 12. And pretty soon my son will be getting an iPhone. So I try to give them everything they want, but at the same time, I have to sometimes step back and see what I'm doing. So me and my son, our thing is to go shoot. We definitely go shoot. That's what once a month, me and my son, we go shoot. That's something I dedicated and want to spend some time with him to definitely get to know him a little bit better than I already know him, because I work so much. 80% of the bills fall on me. So it ain't no, I don't feel like going to work. I got to go to work. So, and then that's the way we set it up. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. So, I got to go to work. I got to make sure the bills are paid. Everybody say, when do you sleep? I always say when God calls me home. That's the time I sleep. I got a t-shirt press right here that I'm trying to get up and running. Right behind me right here. I got the printer for it to print graphics out down there. I do Lego cars for, just to get some relief. I shoot. I work on, brakes on the car. So a lot, and I help friends all the time. So I'm always busy. And I definitely have to cut some time out for my children. I definitely go to competitions, real important competitions for both of them. So if I got to take off a Saturday, because a lot of times when I go to work on Saturdays, pretty much volunteer, but I go because I like to buy guns. So you see guns expensive. You see you see my car collection behind me. So it's not just only I need some. I like to splurge on myself as well. So I have to work, but majority of what I'm doing is to take care of the household. Um, Mortgage has to be paid. I pay the mortgage. Bills have to be paid. I pay the bills. When cars need to be fixed, I get out there and put brakes on my wife and my car. So I'm always working and doing something, and I'm never idle. I just can't sit idle. It's just not me. Um, what's up, dear meat? That's my Bug Nation brother right there, brother man. Biggest mistake I have. See his parents being too soft for her child. And yeah, I definitely don't treat my kids as friends. I mean, I will. Let's get it. Let's get it. And I understand what you're saying. NY Outcast. Um, my kids understand. I will give you anything you want. Just make sure when I tell you to do something, do it. Make sure them grades are A1 when you're in school. There's no ifs and buts about your grades. Your grades have to be A1. I'm not accepting none other than A's, B's. You can slip by with 1C, but hey, let's get that school has to be on number one. Because if your school is not together, then guess what? Cheering, baseball, gymnastics, dance, band, you can kiss that all goodbye. That's a privilege to be able to do those things. And let me tell y'all something. For my daughter, as talented as she is, and she's been holding a 4.0 all this year. She's a 4.0 student. Um, we had one team that was interested in her, and we have the team that she's on now. She's on the B team, but the C team wants her. So they are fighting over my daughter to be on either one of them teams. So she's very talented when it comes to gymnastics and cheering. But no matter how talented you are, if your grades are not together, because first of all, you're a student and then you're an athlete. You're not an athlete student. No, don't get it twisted. Athlete student is not what we're doing. You're a student, then you're an athlete. So if your academics is not together, then you're not an athlete. You will get yanked. I don't care if I spent my daughter cheering is like $500, $600 for the package to get on the team. So it ain't cheap. But I will pull you for that year if your grades is not together. Your grades is no way. Then something about Sophia. What's going on? Oh, that's a new face, I think. Well, it's the first time you seeing it or recognizing it. But I don't know, man. What do y'all think? Especially with men and women with children, either they're inside the household, outside the household, divorced, whatever the case may be. Um, we try, and then these are the parents that's actually, and I tell you, man, just being able to work in Head Start as a parent, as a volunteer, I see a lot of parents, not mothers or fathers, whether they're in the same household or separated, where the first teacher for a child is the parents. And what I mean by that is, before they even go to school, my wife didn't go to work. My wife started working once my kids got in elementary, basically. And to my daughter, when my daughter got in elementary, that's when my wife started working. But she was at home teaching them the ABCs, they 1, 2, 3s, how to subtract, how to add, just the basics before they went to elementary. Um, my son ended up going to 2 years of Head Start. My daughter, I don't think she did Head Start. So not only was I in Head Start, but with being in Head Start and being funded by the government, parents had to do so much volunteer time in order to get the money from the federal government. And not only did I do that, I was on the parent committee board. My last year there, I was actual president for the parent committee board. So anything that needed to be approved, budget wise and all that, my signature had to go on it. So, and then the director, her signature would go on it, and so forth and so forth and so on. So I've always been, especially with the school system, I've always been hands on with their education. Me and my wife definitely been on 100% when it comes to their education. Um, Absolutely. I definitely, and that's what my son now, he does some volunteering over to the next, well, not volunteering, but I always taught him, take care of your older neighbor. She has to be in a good, she has to be about 60, above 60. She lives to the left of me, my neighbor. And so I would have my son take her trash out to the curb, and they actually start paying them. So what I make him do is take half of it, spend it, give me half, we'll put it in your savings account. And that's what me and my wife doing. We have a savings account going on for them to where we can throw money in there. Taxes, when we get taxes, I get them $1,000 a piece. 500 automatically goes into the bank. And 500 is through the year. If they need something for cheering or something for band, that money is available for them. Um, and my son, he's my daughter. She would, I can get her to say, but my son don't know the value of a dollar. Um, um, my wife just told me he got $40 from her from doing. He had went to go help her out doing something a couple days ago, and she ended up paying him $40. And not he even messed around and spent the whole $40 on something. So I just told him in the kitchen, anytime you get money from working over next door, you hand me half. You spend half, and I'm gonna put half in your bank account. So if you decide to go to college, if you decide to go to trade school, we have a nest egg for the both of you available. Because college is it's not cheap, baby. And I'm hoping, especially with my daughter and her talent, she can hopefully get a full ride scholarship when it comes to her in college. So, hopefully my son, he likes baseball. He's played baseball when he was smaller. So he wants to play it this year. So we're gonna get him back into it this year. What's up, Ray Official? Another uh, one of my Bug Nation brothers. Hey, I'm gonna hit this link if you want to. We talking about, do we really know our children? Um, and we're not gonna be able to protect them from everything. Definitely not gonna be able to do that. But Howard J, I'm about to throw. Hey, let me see something, y'all. Cause Jamal is actually shooting now. I know Howard J told me to throw the cash app up here. I definitely do that for him. If you want to, you're more than welcome to. If you don't, I'm not saying you have to. But I'm about to throw this cash out up in this chat right quick. I know Howard J asked for it last week. I wasn't prepared, so oops, no. There you go, y'all. If you wanna, buy some ammo for Jamal, there go the cash out, man. If you want to, you don't have to. I'm I hate doing that. Um, but if you want to, you can. If you don't, that's fine too. But Jamal's on the journey of shooting now, so trying to get him a little bit more efficient if possible. Yeah, absolutely, dear me. Active parents is what we need, man. I'll tell y'all a story my wife told me. Now my wife is going to be part of the staff this year for my daughter's cheer team. The B and C team is fighting on my wife to be on one of them staff. So my wife said, you know what, I'll be staff for both of you guys, for both of the teams. My wife said last year was the first year my daughters with the Spartans. And my wife said parents would literally drop their daughters off and keep going. And don't even really know the staff like that. That's the problem. A lot of us are not active. We drop them off and keep going, and not, and especially with this day and age is going on. Me and my wife, You know, once I got to know the coaches for my son's football team, you know, I would drop him off to practice. My wife would go get him. But it wasn't just the instant, I'm about to drop you off. It was 4, 5, 6 different practices. And if I had to go to work, I'd drop him off on a Saturday. Whenever my wife doing what she was doing with my daughter, they'd head over there and pick him up. But we have a lot of parents dropping children off and not using their activities as babysitters. Whatever they're doing, say if they're playing football, baseball, the girls are cheerleading and whatnot. Mutual funds are good too, bro. They can make money. All right, I'm gonna give my wife mutual funds. Okay, we gonna have to do some mutual funds then for them. Thanks, dear meat man. See, great community. That tell you that you always be willing to learn it and listen to others. Without sale, I mean, okay. I'm gonna look into that, dear meat. Thanks, brother. But the problem is a lot of parents are using the school system. If they have an activity, just dropping them off, and then because I my nephew, he can get a little crazy sometimes, and when he with me, he act like he got some sense, you know. But you know his dad is not there like he should be. So, and I know his dad because my homeboy is his brother, my bad. One of my friends I grew up with since middle school, basically one of my best friends. Been knowing his family for over 20 years. So so we are first. The way my parents did us is I'm the first one to teach you how to act like you got some sense when you're in public. What's up, Walt? So they're the first one to teach you to act like you got some sense. Second is when you go to school, make sure you there to learn, not to play around, not to disturb the classroom. Because I remember one time I got a whooping. I was a talkative child in school, so I guess one day the teacher called my dad, and my dad had to come from work, and he pulled me that bathroom and he whooped my butt in the bathroom and made me go back to class. My dad had no problems after me after that. You know, another problem is the government trying to raise our children. You know, back in the day, wherever you act a fool was where you go. Basically, was where you was gonna get it. It wasn't no. Well, I'm gonna call the police then. But this one right here, he about to get it. So you do what you gotta do. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But these days is if you whoop your children and somebody call the police, then that's child abuse. So you got the government meddling in family business or parenthood, but that device for me, you can't tell me how to raise mine, especially a government that I don't trust in the first place. So you can miss me with that. You can't you can't discipline your children in public. The other day, my daughter was at my wife had went to where did she end up going? The Croc store. My daughter got to acting crazy, so my wife popped her butt in the Croc store. For acting crazy. Mind you, y'all, she just got a what the hell is this? She just got oh man, thank you, man, y'all, for y'all. Thank you so much. I'll make sure I go get some ammo for them. Thank y'all, man. I appreciate you guys for sending that. But thank you so much, man. I'm the type of person I don't like to ask for anything. That's even with my wife. She's like, Jamal, you need to. I don't know, though. I just know how to grind and work, and get mine. But man, thank you guys, man. I'm gonna tell Jamal, come here. Tell him to get his butt on here and say thank you. Thank you guys, man. Some notifications coming through my phone. We're gonna definitely go get his butt some ammo. Come here. Come here.
Huh?
We got some people donating, so you can be able to go shoot. They donate money, so get on here and say thank you, man.
Thank you.
So thank y'all guys, man, for a lot, man. He gonna definitely enjoy it. We're gonna definitely go get him some bullets, man, and get him going. But I just want him to get down here and say thank you himself. Thank y'all guys. We do appreciate y'all for the cash apps. All right, that's all. I just wanted to hear you say thank you.
No problem.
So yeah, he's definitely a 3.0 student. He stays on his grind. So thank you guys for definitely sending that out to him. We gonna definitely put them bullets down range. We gonna definitely have a good time with him. Yeah, that's it. You got the one thing about children, and I think I did the same thing with my dad. You push the limits to see how far you can get. And like NY say, get them in the young, let them know you have a limit. And if you go past that limit or that boundary, it's gonna definitely be repercussions for what you're doing. Yeah, that's true too. But see, my daughter, man, we and me and my wife had to talk about this. I find myself, and I had to really look at myself, and it wasn't really my wife; it was more me. Um, my daddy only supplied my needs. He really didn't supply my wants. So I always told myself when I grow up, and as you can see behind me, I got Lego cars. I got poppets up there. So once I got old enough to be able to work and get my own stuff, I always told that I'll give my kids whatever they want. If I can get it, you got it. So I had to really, and it's just getting to know your children and getting to know yourself as well. Um, I had to slow down. Um, I had to really slow down with my children. Like I said, all this they got hoverboards. They got the go-kart thing that's set up for the hoverboards. They got bicycles. They got electric scooters. My son had a pocket rocket. My daughter has a electric like dirt bike. They both have individual uh, mini bikes that run off gas. They both got iPads. Jamal has a PlayStation 4. Jamal has a Nintendo. Jamal has what's that? A Wii U. My daughter has the Nintendo Switch as well. So I had to really slow down because I was thinking that buying them stuff would keep them fine. But like I said, when my son ran away, I had to really evaluate how I was doing things. So now I do a lot of talking with him. What's going on when we go to the range? You good? How's everything in school? What's up, life in Baton Rouge? How's school going? And I try to get him to engage with me. So we definitely talk, and so it is definitely there's definitely not a. I wish they had a parent handbook or something, boy, it'd be a lot easier. But every child is different. Every child is unique. Me and my wife would have had 4 children. My first one would have been my daughter, Jemiah Rose Sims. My son would be 13, so I think my daughter would have been 16. I think I would have had a 16-year-old. Yeah, I think she would have been about 15, 16 now. But she didn't make it out the womb, so we lost her. Then my son, Jamal Antonio Sam. Then my daughter, Amaya Drea Sims. and then we didn't know the sex of the fourth one. So we lost our first one, and we lost Jemiah. We had my son, we had my daughter, Jamal Amaya, and then we didn't find out the sex of the fourth one before she had a stalemate, or that one wasn't developed or something. So I would have had 4 children. So had 2, lost 2, and I was really excited about my oldest daughter. I still have her quilt set. I can't get rid of it. I can't get rid of it, y'all. I've been trying to get rid of it for the longest. Oh, shoot. I still got it. I've been calling myself trying to get rid of it. It's a crib set. Noah's Buddies 4-piece crib bedding set. I can't get rid of it, man. I've been trying to get rid of this thing. Been trying to let it go, but I can't. I can't get rid of it, y'all. It's for my daughter. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is getting it engraved with her name on it, and probably framing it. That's what I think I'm gonna do. Yeah, man, I definitely believe. 'Cause I know with me, I see a difference. If you're not there, that's with my nephews. One is a little easygoing, and the other one, they see him, but you can tell he's not consistent. Um, I believe a father is definitely very important, and that's true. And one thing I do with my son and my daughter, and I watch a lot of cop shows. So when I think I was watching some guys that was locked up, but they was telling their stories on how they end up getting locked up. And especially with my son, man, when I held him in my arms for the first time, I said this to him. I said, "You already have 2 strikes against you. You're black and you're male. My job is to not get you to raise you and hopefully prevent you from getting that 3rd strike." You know, that's just the way the world works now. You're black, you're male, you already got 2 strikes against you. My job is to prevent you from getting that 3rd strike, and raising you like NYC with morals and values. I wasn't a popular kid in high school. I wore the same clothes every year. I had to learn how to stitch my clothes up. So I wasn't a popular guy when I was in high school. But I also didn't run with a big crowd. I wasn't a big crowd pleaser. I didn't really care about a crowd. So it was I didn't really have to worry about really getting in trouble because I didn't wear the Jordans. My first pair of Jordans that I bought was from my wife. She bought some Jordans. Well, I still got them in the closet. I barely wear them. I really, really don't wear them. What's going on, sis?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. But yeah, my first pair of Jordans was with my wife. My wife bought them, didn't like them, and I ended up buying them from her. And that's at 30. I think I was 38 when I bought those. I don't buy Jordans. I don't want to waste my money on no Jordans. I would waste them on the guns. I go at
Yeah,
least
well,
get the paper.
everybody says.
So y'all, shout out to Gina versus Gina, man. She has a beautiful channel. Definitely go check her out. That's my sister on the screen.
Thank
Screen.
you.
Um, she do Frugal Friday. She talk about finances. So definitely brilliant mind. Bro,
I talk about a lot of stuff on Frugal Friday, y'all. So if y'all come through, it ain't always it's always something in regards to saving. May it be time, money, whatever. Last week it was time, and we're gonna touch on that some more. It was meal prepping. I like to do a lot of freezer meal prep, and probably in a couple weeks I'm gonna do one. Me and TT gonna do it probably live on a Saturday
there you
and
go.
show how we meal prep, just to make life easier. I work, so when I come home, I be tired sometimes, and instead of stopping and getting fast food, you can cook. You can just throw something that you prepped already in the oven or the crock pot or whatever. But yeah, but I had came up because with the topic, and you said how well do you know your children, and I heard you say a lot of things, but how well do you know your children? Because you talked about a lot of stuff. So do you know what your children are interested in, aside from the fact that your daughter does cheer and ballet, or was it no gymnastics?
Gymnastics.
Um, what are her interests? What does she think she want to be when she grow up? Do you guys have that kind of conversation? Do you think you want to go to school, to college? I mean, because I think as parents, like I was like you, Skilly, so I get it. I was really tough on my oldest with grades. I'm probably the same with my youngest, but it's a little bit different because I look at things differently now. But I was really tough on my oldest because I think we are pushed to think that education is the only way to be successful in life, and it's not.
No, it's not.
And sometimes the most educated people are the dumbest people. Have you ever run across somebody who has all the accolades possible, but you be like, this person dumb as a box of rocks?
Yeah, yeah.
So being educated does not equal being smart to be successful.
Right.
And a lot of people have proven that with all these different ways that people have been able to make money, and it's because they're smart. They have thought outside the box. The box being you go to school, you choose what you're going to school for, you get a job in that field, you show up every day for however many years until you can retire, and then you retire. They're like, nah, that ain't really what I think I want to do.
Right.
So sometimes, because we have been raised around the aspect that you go to school, you do your best because you want your child to be up there with the ones that are quote unquote smart, and go to college, and then most of them realize that's not what they wanted. That wasn't the path that they wanted to go in. My daughter went to college, she finished, and then she realized what she went to college for she didn't want to do, and so she went back to school and for what she want excuse me, for what she wanted to do. And now she's kind of burnt out on school. But if she continues a little bit more, which is to me another thing that's dumb, um, she can gain better positions. She works in a hospital, she's in a hospital lab. And in order for certain positions, you have to have a higher degree.
Yeah.
And it's like, but why? Because
Right.
quite honestly, I have no degree in the field that I work in, and nobody does who works in my field because it's not a field that you can go to school in. I work in bankruptcy. Most people were like, well, they hear bankruptcy and they think of what celebrities go through and whatever. Bankruptcy is a thing that everybody has access to, and a lot of people utilize. Maybe when they were in college, they fell victim to the credit card debt, because when you're in college, they offer you all these credit cards knowing you one don't have a job. So
Right.
how you gonna pay it?
Exactly.
And then you stuck with all that. And sometimes you start off that way, and then your bad habits just keep
Keeps
going.
going.
Not that there's something bad about the fact that you had these habits. It's just we pick up on what society tells us are the way to do things. So we're told that you want to have credit so you can buy a car and you can buy a house. So you start utilizing credit to do everything in your life instead of really being smart with your finances. One thing
Fine.
they don't teach you is how to be
Smart fine. Yep, that's
smart
it.
with your finances. So a lot of people are just living way above their means.
That's it.
Trade school is a good asset.
Yeah. Trade. I
It-
was looking at trade school too, and with my son and my daughter. The reason why I put up a cash cow if they don't decide to go to school, that's fine with me. It eventually started because my son, when he first was, he used to love animals. His big thing was animals. So I tried to keep something around him to kind of keep his peak interest in animals. Um, we even when we went to Florida, I made sure we made tickets to go see SeaWorld. Let them see the whales. Let them see the people up there feeding the whales. How much money they get paid just to go feed some whales while the whales swim in the tank and have a good time. You know, so I always try to keep some. And then we end up getting the build a dragon to kind of keep his interest on how to feed an animal, how to take care of your animals, how to clean the cage. So I always keep some around them to keep them interested. And maybe one day he'll do it. One day he not. Now he in the band. He's always been in the drums. So I always when he was little, his first Christmas, I bought him a drum set. So he's always been in drums, but he didn't get back to the drums. I
Mhm.
had to with him. I wanted him to play football. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wanted him to play ball. He ended up playing it. He ended up. It wasn't going as fast as he wanted and his mama wanted it to go. So eventually, they both burnt out on it. At first, I was gonna make him go back, but I said no. I said you can't do that. I said he's not interested. Don't push the issue if he's not interested. So I let it go. I said I
Yeah.
let it go. I let it
Yeah.
go.
And in my opinion, I wouldn't push hard in the things that he finds interesting. I almost feel like these are the years where they're supposed to experience a lot of variations of things so that they can really know what they're interested in. If we just channel in on that one thing, they may feel the interest now, and they may even then, but once they actually get in there, they're like, "This isn't what I thought it was going to be." So, like him having a variety, I should say, of interests is actually good. It's almost like to me with dating. I remember when my daughter started dating my oldest one. I'm like, oh, the worst nightmare of a parent is when their child wants to like a kid. But I would always tell her, like, don't be so serious about, relationships. This is the time in your life where you meet people, you get to know different personalities, you get to know what you like. You think you know what you like now, but you may not know what that is until you start seeing how the interaction is with other people. So don't try to buckle yourself down to me and such, or, you know, don't. I just really was big on that with her, although she did it anyway. So I'm not going to say it worked. But I think it's important because a lot of times we don't allow ourselves to see all the things that are out there and um, explore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's because my godson is here, and that's we helped raise him first. So he's the first one that we had.
Hmm.
I mean, not literally, but we had under taken care of. And with
Hmm.
Jamal, he saw him play football. I want to play football. I want to play football. So that's okay. We'll go for it. No problem. We
Hmm.
ended up putting him somewhere where the coach was real good. When the coach would move him around, defense, offense, work with him. But like I said, it burnt him out. He ended up wanting to play band. He ended up getting into band. Him and my wife, they got into it about something. She was gonna take him out. And the
Hmm.
director was like, "No, he's really good." Now my son came in the middle of the school year. He plays the not the bass, but the one smaller than the bass that's strapped to his chest. I forgot tenor or something, whatever they call it, the drum.
Hmm.
But the coach said, I mean the band teacher said that Jamal catch on. He was teaching other children while he was teaching the other band members. So he really loves Jamal. And
Hmm.
said, keep him, please keep him here. So we end up keeping him there. But that's something else he in love with band. So anything to now he wants to back because he played basketball. So he done been in all types of stuff. Jamal is the type of kid that he like me.
He
If he
should.
keeps interest, he gonna do it. And if it burns him out and he don't want to do it no more, he'll let you know.
And
So
he should.
now it's baseball. So we're gonna get him back to the baseball. He wanna play baseball again. So we're gonna get him to the baseball and band. Look like baseball and band probably gonna be his thing. Like I tell him all the time, hey, I'm here as a father. Anything you need from me, I'm there. Don't ever
Mm-hmm.
hesitate. You know, you always gonna, you're never gonna disappoint me. You might
Mm-hmm.
do some things that I don't agree with, but you'll never disappoint you there.
Yes.
So,
What's going on, Skilly and Gina?
what's
Sound like
going
garbage right
on?
now, or
Hey,
what?
did you get your fish smell dealt with?
Now I know who it is. I didn't know who it was at first because you got the thing of I know who it is. Hey Ray.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
I can't hear y'all sound terrible. So I'm sure I guess I sound like garbage too.
Mm-mm, you
All
coming
right.
through
Oh,
clear.
let me try and reconnect.
All right.
Yeah, but you did make a good point too earlier about parents being involved. That's important.
You have to be. And you know what? Especially with my son, I don't think my daughter did Head Start. I can't remember, but I want to say she did. Um, uh, Head Start, especially with the government funding it, parents had to have so much time in order to match the dollars that they
Mm-hmm.
give. So when I used to work, and then a good thing about the Head Start that he was going to, they had fatherhood. So they wanted the fathers to be involved. It was a separate
Yes.
program. A guy by the name of Rogers Washington, I'll never forget him. He ran that department for the men, and we did T-ball with dad. We did dig with dad. So a lot of that stuff I was in. Um,
Yes.
but dang it, every day I'm there. I'm cutting out stuff to help the teachers or whatnot. Um, and you see a lot of these children where one little girl, I never forget this little girl. I want to see if I really want to see what she's up to now, but I could tell that wherever she was, it was broken. Sweet
Mm-hmm.
little girl, sweet. I'll never forget her. Sweet little girl. Uh, but I wish I know where she at now because I mean, sweetheart. But another thing was this little boy. I never forget this little boy that I met the last year. That first year was the little girl. Second year was the little boy. Um, I don't think his father was in his life, but I mean, anytime I come in there, they say, "Hey, Jamal's dad," or "Hey, Mr. Sims." Very man, I love children. So that was the highlight of my life when I was able to volunteer for my sons both years for him being a Head Start. Both years I served on the parent committee board. Second year I was the president of the parent head committee board, where we literally had to sign off on documents uh, and just letting us know what was going on with the funds and how the federal government program works and dealing with money and children. So man,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely, especially with education, I always been involved in it, especially with the education, um,
Mm-hmm.
and just the children in
Yeah,
general.
it's important, and even like you said, for someone who's coming from a broken situation, I was that mom that all the kids knew.
Yeah.
All the kids knew. I was actually the mom who was brokenhearted when my daughter started saying, you don't have to go in with me, mom." I was like, "What? This is part of my morning too."
Yeah.
But even with that, I still made sure I knew the kids. If I saw kids, "Hey, such and such, how you doing? How you been doing? You been doing what you're supposed to do?"
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. Kids just want to be. They want to know that they're being seen, and
And you
sometimes
know what? They
it's
act different. I've noticed a lot of them act different when I'm in the room. Like I was drifting from classroom to classroom, but some teachers I knew, some teachers I didn't. But the ones that I knew, you could tell the difference
mm-hmm,
when a father's in the room.
mm-hmm,
They're way more respectful. It
yeah,
was just amazing. I love being in the classroom. I love volunteering.
mm-hmm,
It was very important to me to be in his, especially with the volunteering.
mm-hmm.
You don't get paid for spending time, but you get your time is way more valuable than money.
That's important. And you just what you said, you repeat that to yourself every time you're purchasing. for your kids. There's nothing wrong with that though. But you cannot buy those those memories are going to be those times that you spent. One of my best memories of my mom, because I was a middle child and I was her only girl, was her just taking me out for an afternoon and us just driving out through this country area of my city where it was nothing but cows and all kinds of stuff like that. And we just drove and we played blue beetle, but pudge buggy, red pudge buggy. That one's mine. This one's yours. All that little stuff. And I was maybe like 9 or 10. Those are the things I remember. Like, I don't get me wrong, I do remember having stuff, but I remember the moments, the spending the time, us stopping at the little dairy place to get an ice cream where my brothers weren't a part of it because it was just her and I time. And I remember my dad, I was a daddy's girl, so I spent a lot of time with dad as well. But it was a bonding for me and her and our relationship. And those are the things that matter. Like, in the end, yeah, if you start, it's okay. I think as parents, we always want our kids to have more than we did. But one thing I always tried to do is I also wanted my daughter to know, my oldest anyway. I didn't have this thing by the time I had it together by my second child. But with my oldest, she was the only child for 12 years. So her grandmother, between her grandmother, I didn't really have to buy much for her because she was just spoiling her like rotten. And I'm like, but she needs to know that everything she wants won't come to her. She can't get everything.
Right.
It doesn't work like that in the world. You can't just want it and you get it.
Right.
That's
All
not
right.
the real world.
Ray, what's
Hey,
up?
Ray.
Well, you got a connection that's worse than
It was fine the first time, but he couldn't hear us.
No, y'all sound like robots.
Well, go ahead and
You
talk,
sound
bro.
Yeah.
you sound
Well,
fine.
yeah, I know. I know I only got a few minutes because I know Skilly getting ready to cut out and go to work because that joker work harder than anybody I know.
Don't he though?
But hey, oh yeah. When it comes to these kids, though, I mean, that's Skilly's topic, and I say this all the time to people. Our kids know us, but we don't know our kids.
Yeah.
We only know what they allow us to see, but our kids know it. I mean, they know what's going to tick us off, what's going to, get on our last nerves and stuff like that. But like I said, when it comes to knowing the kids, we don't know our kids. And any parent that sit there, oh, I know my kid. Nah, you don't know your kid. You really don't. You only know what your kid allows you to see.
True.
They act good at the house when they get out there in the streets or whatever, get around their friends. It's completely different.
Yeah, it is.
It's completely different. But I mean, most of the time, and like when they're young, they're kind of, they're still learning their ways. Once they get older, get to middle school and stuff like that, and some of them in elementary, when they get to about fifth grade, that's when they start, to learn other kids and learn, they get that chameleon instinct, you know, where they just try to blend in with whoever they want to blend in and then be something different, at the house, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, those kids, they're something else. And I tell people all the time, I don't like my kids. I love the hell out of them, but I just say stupid stuff like that, so I
Yeah.
have to tee them off. And I used to do it when they were young, because when they had like different events and stuff like that, or just stuff at the school. I mean, I worked at the didn't work, but we'll go up to the school every morning with direct traffic and stuff like that. They would have the
Mm-hmm.
morning exercise and stuff. And I'm up there doing the exercise, and teach. Oh,
Yes.
we're glad you're up here. Tamia's, and they say Tamia's dad. I'm like, who is Tamia? I don't have
Yes.
no kids, and just say stupid stuff like that. But
I still do
just
that.
yeah, and just it's having fun with the kids. My daughter used
Yes.
to tell us all the time, "Oh, I don't have any friends. Can y'all come up there with me for lunch?" We come up there for lunch. The first time we did that, we went up to the school, and all these kids, Tamia, who is that? We're like, Mia, we thought you didn't have any friends. Well, I only have a few friends. All the kids coming over there. Oh yeah, Mia is our friend. We love Mia. They're like, come on, little girl, are you trying to hustle us? And that's what she would do. She would hustle us. I mean, and it got to the point where, we would show up at school, and I mean, I would bring, would it just be me, her, and my wife, I'd bring a Chick-fil-A. Then all of a sudden, all these other little kids started showing up. So I'm showing up at the school, Chick-fil-A for probably about 5, 6 kids, you know?
Yes.
But the kids
Yes.
loved it. That was the thing. They loved it. And a lot of these kids still remember us. We're talking about, I mean, damn near 15, 20 years later. These
Mm-hmm.
kids still remember what we would do, how we would
Yes.
come up there. The
Yes.
what was it? What they call it? Field trips and stuff like that. I
Mm-hmm.
went on every field trip,
Yep.
every one of them, and used to jump on those kids about, whenever they're getting ready to do something stupid. Because we had one kid would go every field trip. I don't know what was wrong with this kid. He would go and steal something, you
Oh.
know, all the time. And I'm like, dude, did you steal anything? Take it out your pocket. When you sit there and
Yep.
get that, take it out, go put it up. Go put it up.
Yep.
And this was all the time. And that same kid still remembers us. He's doing good now. I mean, he ain't stealing. I think he's a EMT or something like that, But the kid is doing good, But yeah, it's just like you say, when it comes to these kids, I mean, we don't know our kids, but the little things that we do, make an impact on our kids plus other kids,
Yes.
Yeah.
out here, And that's what we have to take and do. Now, a lot of parents say they don't have time and stuff like that. You always have time, but you
You have
make time.
time. Yeah,
You
you
know,
have to.
you make
You
time.
make time for
'cause that was
what's
one of the things I
important.
did. Yeah, I
Yep.
always made time. I'm supposed to be
Facts.
at work. They called me up. Hey, where you at? At my daughter's school. And
Facts.
they knew that. That's what I was going to do. I was going to go to my daughter's school, and they knew that. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you got to
Yes.
make time for these kids. Otherwise, if you don't make time for them, you
Somebody
wind up
else.
losing them. And when you lose them, I mean, yeah, and it's not going to be, an adult or something. It's going to be these streets. The streets are going to
Mhm.
get them
Yeah.
before anything else gets them.
Yes. True.
So
That is so
yeah, and
true,
Skilly,
Ray.
just keep doing what you're doing, man. Just spending that time with your son and stuff like that, and even your daughter, just spend that time and just you know um uh get to know them, get them to see exactly what a father's supposed to do, because one day they're going to be fathers and mothers too,
Yeah, absolutely.
and they need to see this
Yep.
stuff, if they don't see it. I mean, even though we all go into parenthood blind because we don't. I mean, there's no handbook, but there's
Facts.
handbooks written by people with no kids, you know. But
That part.
you know, I mean that's the truth. You got these people with no kids trying to tell people how to raise kids.
All
You
right.
can't
That
tell me how to do
part.
anything. You know, it's like a
That
broke
part.
person trying to tell me how to be a
I
millionaire.
quit.
Hell, you're broke for a reason.
Exactly.
You know. So yeah,
Exactly. And
we
it's
just
no
gotta,
one way. You will have 3 kids and you'll have 3 different ways of raising them.
Yep, you will.
Yep. Yep,
You
3
will.
different attitudes, 3
Oh,
different mindsets,
my
everything.
daughter, I tell you the other day she got it. She always does this. Now, mind you, I had to get on her the other day. And I was gonna buy her some, but I said, you know what? You're not getting anything. I said, because not only about 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe about 2 months ago, you won the iPhone, right? I went and got it for you. I had to come out, I think $70 after that. I had to come out with some money that I wasn't expecting to come out. This was like that. So she ended up getting it. I told my son, I said, once I pay your mother's phone off, then I will get you your iPhone. He's like, cool, okay, Dad. All right. She calls me last week, wants an outfit for $20. So I sell my wife the $20 to get her the outfit. Now, mind you, my son ain't got nothing. So the other day, my son wanted some Crocs. So I said, oh, well, grab my credit card, get him some Crocs. I said, while you at it, I need some Crocs for the cruise, so grab me some. So they get in there. I guess my wife had already told my daughter she wasn't getting that. Don't go in here, don't start, you're not getting anything. So either my wife or my daughter called me. She cried. I said, what you crying for? Or what you pouting for? Oh, I want some Crocs. I said, okay, well, grab them, whatever, just get them. I said, but you know what you want? No, not really. I said, so what did you crying for? I said, open up your mouth and talk. You didn't come in there with a plan. You came in there because somebody else was getting some. You want some. You didn't really want nothing until you saw your brother get some. That's what all that comes down to. So I said, you know what? Just get them. So her and my wife going back and forth. My wife ended up popping her in the store. Because once my daughter has an attitude, she has an attitude. It's just, it gets on my last nerves. But she has an attitude. You can tell when my daughter has an attitude. All that junk going on. So I said, you know what? So I FaceTimed her. She crying. She upset. And I said, you know what? After I got off the phone with her mother, about 10 minutes later, I called her back. I said, you know what? You're not getting no Crocs. I said, so wipe your face, get yourself together, and go about your day. I said, your brother the one whining when you got an outfit and a new cell phone about a couple weeks ago. So what's your problem? I'm not understanding what you're going through. I said, you and your we sacrificed for y'all like we got it all. I said, so what we gonna do today is you're not getting Crocs. I said, June is coming up. It's your birthday, June 4th, and then we're going on a cruise on June the 10th through June the 17th. So not only do your birthday, but you'll be on a cruise right around your birthday. I said, your brother don't get half the stuff you get, and you act a damn fool.
Yeah.
So after this, we gonna break you. If that means this year you don't get nothing, we gonna break you. I mean exactly what I told her. We gonna break you.
But you created that monster.
We did. I agree. I ain't gonna lie to you. I did.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree. My
that's the truth.
daughter
I mean,
was my everything when she was born, especially when I lost my first one. My second one, she was my everything. I ain't gonna lie to you.
we create those monsters, man. You give these kids when you're sitting there giving these kids everything they want or whatever, they grow up and they end up the same way. Same way. My kids have no problem sitting there telling us, we would like to spend y'all money instead of our own. You know, they'll say, and they will say that. Yeah, we would rather spend your money than spend our own. I say, well, I guess y'all ain't gonna have nothing to spend because the money I got is for me and your mom. I don't give a damn what y'all have going on. You know, I mean, my daughter sit there, my oldest one, now she's 30 years old, you know, was getting ready to move. Dad, would you like to pay half of my rent? I say, hell, if half of your rent is nothing, you damn right, I'd love to pay it. You know, I pay it all every month. Every month I will pay your rent. If half of your rent is nothing.
Listen.
You know?
Ooh.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, there's something else. But that's the thing, you know, you got to realize you want your kids to have, you know, but you got to realize you got to set boundaries and limits for that.
That part.
You know, you have to set it because if you don't, I mean, these kids, the older they get, will take advantage of it. And all these, you know, parents who want to, you know, give their kids everything they didn't have or whatever, even with that, you know, you still have to have boundaries. You know, it's like my kids always wanted some Jordans. I told them, y'all out of y'all damn mind. I've never owned a pair of Jordans, so neither will you, unless you buy them yourself. You know, that's the only way you're gonna get them. Even now, I mean, I got a pair of Jordans my daughter and her husband gave to me, you know, but I don't wear them.
Yes,
they're just sitting there. You know, I said, no, I'm not a. I mean, you know, I honestly, I think there's some ugly ass tennis shoes, and I tell them that there's some ugly ass shoes. I've never liked Jordans. You know, even now, I mean, I can afford to go get whatever the hell I want, but I'm not getting no Jordans.
No.
You know, I had, who was it? I forgot. I think it was Billy. I think it was Billy or somebody. I sit there and was talking about the K-Swiss. And I can't remember. No, I think it was Erica. Erica like, no, you know, on their live. I'm like, see me? I love K-Swiss. I buy all the damn K-Swiss. Huh?
I used to wear those all the time back in the day. I never like Nikes. Nikes are uncomfortable, and most of them don't look nice. They're the most uncomfortable tennis shoe ever. And people be paying $100 and some to be uncomfortable. No.
Yeah, I got a pair of Adidas, and the only reason I got the Adidas because my wife bought me 2 Adidas sweatsuits. So I'm like, well, hell, I can't wear, you know, K-Swiss and Adidas. That don't go together. You know? You know, I mean, hey, these kids talk about the drip. I guess I gotta have a little drip too. But I told them, I said, even that, I mean, the stuff that they come up with is just stupid. Because I sit there and think about when I first heard the word drip, I'm thinking venereal disease or something, you know? Oh, you gotta be dripping. I'm like, well, shit, you better get a shot for that. You know? But yeah, you know, you can't just give these kids, you know, and that's what a lot of parents think, you know, that you give. You gotta have boundaries and limits to everything you do. You know, you can help them out, you know, which I help mine out. My youngest one is 25 and my oldest one is 30, you know, and even like with cell phone, I know how expensive those cell phone plans can be. Hell, I sit there and tell all of them on my cell phone plan. I don't mind that. I pay the cell phone, you know, because it doesn't make sense, you know, to have one cell phone and be paying, almost $100 for that. When I
Yeah.
can sit there and, have 5, 6 phones on my account and pay like $160, $170.
Yep.
That helps
Yeah.
you out. Things like that, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But as far as, paying your bills, nah, you made your bills, you pay. I got my own bills. I'm not paying yours and mine. I help you out with little things or whatever, but
Yes.
yeah, but
And
like I
I
said, we gotta
agree.
have
I'm the
limits.
same way. I still do a lot of stuff for my oldest, but it's because I want to. She actually doesn't ask for stuff, but I'm like, I remember when she first started working, I would make her, she didn't start working till she was like, she graduated high school because she decided she didn't want to work while she was in high school. So I would have her give me, hey fam, I would have her give me
Oh,
like,
there they go. Erica was talking about my K-Swiss. Billy, go get your wife some K-Swiss.
Hey, I'll be
Go
trying
get
to
her
throw
some.
they
on
heard
in.
her art.
I'm not doing K-Swiss.
Why? What's wrong with K-Swiss?
They're
But they
uncomfortable.
from New York though.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm from
Give
the
me
next
a-
block over. Believe me, K-Swiss was popping. Right on, right. K-Swiss all day.
He's
Listen,
not
we used
important.
to in high school it was K Swiss and Adidas shell toes. That's all we wore.
See, Adidas, yes. K-Swiss.
Damn, what year was that?
Don't play me, Billy.
Damn.
Don't play me, Billy. It might have been in the 90s.
Maybe.
Billy, hey, look, Billy trying to age check somebody. That's what he's doing.
See that?
What year was that?
I feel like there was some stonewash jeans in there, some acid wash jeans in there.
That was earlier in my life.
You damn right, because I had them too. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, look,
Hammer pants and
some
everything.
suede feelers. No, it was the suede Pumas. The suede Pumas. Shoot, boy. We talk about breakdance days.
You used to spray them too before you wore them?
Oh yeah, you had to spray them with that what they call it, that Scotch Guard. You had to put that on there.
Right?
Yeah. If you didn't have no Scotch Guard on your shoes, I mean, hell, you doing something wrong.
My father used to have the living room all smoky. Before he went out, he used to spray. And I'm like, how much damn spray? He like, you can't get the creases. Those shits never folded in the front. It was always straight.
I don't even know what they are, so I ain't that.
People don't even say Scotch Guard no more. Damn.
Oh yeah. See, that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, look. I'm a '70s kid, so that's how we rock. We had Scotch Guard, fat laces, we had stuff like that. Yeah, you spray that on you. And so look, as soon as you go buy your shoes, you gotta get you some Scotch Guard to go with your shoes because you gotta spray the hell out of them. That was drip. We were dripping before drip came out. We were fresh. What they say? Fresh.
Whoa, that's fresh.
That's
I
fresh.
remember breaking.
Oh my God.
No, I don't know that.
But that's how we got down, though,
Probably still got a cassette tape somewhere in some stash box.
Shit, man. Hell, I wish I could find my old boombox with a cassette player. I mean, hell, I don't know what I'm gonna play on it, but it's just the fact of having it.
I was watching Video Music Box the other day.
Oh yeah. Every
Good.
night I catch it on I watch it on YouTube. Go back and watch some of that old stuff, man.
Yeah.
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 Y'all too old.
Who old? Shoot.
Look,
All
I
the
don't
old
even
look.
feel like
I
I'm
tell
old
people.
until people talk about the 90s being like forever ago. I'm like, the 90s was just the other day.
What year did you graduate?
95.
All right. I'm 97. All right, behind you. My brother graduated in 95.
See, you trying to make me
I
feel
was
old.
89.
No.
What was I doing in 89?
You was running the streets. I just started walking. No, let me stop lying.
Oh, that's a damn shame. Yeah, you was running the streets and she just started walking. There's something wrong with that statement. We gonna start calling Billy Kelly.
I was just playing.
Don't give him too much water. Don't give him too much water. Shoot, Billy be out there peeing on people. Why does it feel like it's raining? That's just Billy. Sprinkle. Oh man.
She seemed like she was ready.
Oh shit. Hey, gonna write a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it go. Oh man, but yeah, man, these kids doing something else though, boy. I love talking about the damn kids. Love it. I talk about mine all day long. And it's a good thing, you know what, they ain't on YouTube because they'll be mad at me. They'll be talking about me. They'll put me on Twitter and all kind of stuff because that's what they do. You know?
That's where they be at. Twitter is and what is it? TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shoot, boy, my oldest one was putting us on blast with all kind of stuff, you know, and we're trying to figure out, well, damn, what house she grew up in, because we don't remember none of that.
My oldest, swear to God, some things happened to her as a child. I'd be like, girl, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
trying to figure it out.
And I'm sitting there, I'm remembering, you know, thinking about all the time and I sit there and talk that I wasted coming up to your school for all your little events and stuff like that, you know. I mean, it must not have been you. It was somebody I was wasting time for.
Exactly.
Because your ass don't remember nothing. I remember wasting a lot of time. You know? Yeah, buying instruments for my kid. My oldest one, I mean, she was in a band, and I went and bought, I think we bought 2 or 3 clarinets for her. And she would purposely let them get stolen because she didn't want to be in a band, you know? And we're telling her, no, look, we want you to be in a band, you know, because we're trying to make you well-rounded, you know? Instead of just saying, I don't want to be in a band, she would let the instruments get stolen, you know? Coach, we go out there and buy.
That's a good thing to do.
Who you telling?
I used to play the clarinet, so I know it's expensive.
Oh, I know. My wife did too. You know, I mean, jackets, we go out there and buy nice jackets and stuff like that. She wanted, you know, because these kids were into those the bomber jackets at the time, you know, and we're like, nah, you know, because we're looking at like all the kids, you know, little gang members and the kids doing wrong, all walk around with bomber jackets, you know. I'm buying my daughter, well, me and my wife were buying our daughters, you know, nice jackets. My daughter would sit there and let the jackets get stolen, you know. Well, why don't you just buy me a bomber jacket? That's cheaper. Huh. Why don't you just walk around and freeze? You know, and that's what I told her. I mean, I didn't give a damn. Just walk around and freeze. That's what you about to do. You know, my wife. Oh no, yeah, she can't walk around like that. Oh yes, she can. She'll freeze for a little while. I don't care. She gonna be warm when she get on the bus. She gonna be cold when she get off the bus. She gonna go into school. She'll be warm. She'll be all right. You know, she'll be all right. Little cold ain't never killed nobody unless they stayed out there too long, and she ain't gonna be out there that long.
That's right.
You know. That's why I said, and I tell you, y'all hear me all the time. I say, shit, I don't give a damn about these kids. Love my kids to death, but they know, I don't give a damn about you like that. You know?
You know it. For them kids.
Yeah.
That's my new song.
Listen.
Tick tock, Terry, for them kids.
Yeah, but shoot, boy. Tell you, I could talk about mine all day, you know, and they would hate everything I say, but I tell them, you know what, it's the truth.
That's right. They wouldn't hate it. They would hate you telling it.
Oh no, they would hate me telling it. Now see, when they get older, much older, yeah, they'll laugh. You know, they'll just laugh at or whatever. You know, oh, Dad is crazy. Dad used to do all this. I'm like, okay, well now you're starting to remember reality. The life that you lived.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I tell you, one of the easier things I would say on having one kid in the house is it's easier to raise him because he likes what we like for the most part.
Right.
So it ain't like us trying to figure out what the world got going on and get it for our kid or whatever. He likes what we're into. So that shit is so easy now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and he's the last one in the house, right?
That's it.
And the youngest, right? And see that right there. Also, the youngest one always gets to see what the oldest ones did, and they learn what not to do.
Yep.
You know, and that's what helps out a whole lot. Because my youngest one was the same thing. She saw what my oldest one did, and she learned what not to do. Even though she's still, like I said, you know, like to play them little games and stuff like that, you know. But still, you know, they learn what not to do.
Yep.
Right.
You know. And that's good though. I mean, you know, having a kid that's interested in you know, all the stuff that you guys do. And I mean, y'all have any daughters or you just got a son?
We got 3.
3 sons or 3 daughters?
No, 3 daughters and 2 sons.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, all I got is daughters. I wish I did have a son, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good thing. I told my wife at one time I wanted to adopt and was look, I was looking for kids online like I was looking for a car.
Oh,
You know?
Me. That's
Yeah.
me right now.
Yeah, he was swiping. He's like, no, their hair too short.
That
Yeah,
is
that nose too big.
right now.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shoot, he
Look at
look
them
like he
shoulders,
could be,
you know.
they look like they could be our kids, But that's what we wanted to do before my wife had got sick and everything. We were looking at, trying to adopt because I wanted a boy.
mhm.
And I said, I don't give a damn. I said, I don't care what this kid look like. This kid could be Asian, black, white. I don't give a damn. Just give me a boy who's going to be interested in something, who I can go out there, play football with and all that. But, you can try to do that stuff with girls or whatever. But I mean, come on, man. You can't tackle a girl like you would a boy.
Yeah.
You can't do things like that.
Hey,
And
my
girls,
father used to
girls
tackle
like,
me. My dad had me playing baseball, football.
That's why your head's so mopped up right now.
what is it, CTE? What is that thing called?
Basketball. And I played it just like I'll be on the court just with the guys playing rough as they were playing. It didn't bother me none.
Yeah,
But I was around. I was the middle child, like I said. Plus, all my cousins were boys that were my age. I was like I was such a tomboy growing up.
Yeah.
Like tomboy to the max, because I didn't have girls around me until I was like I got in school and was like teenage when I started hanging with some of my girlfriends. But before then, it was all boys. So I used to tell people like, don't mess with me because I don't fight like y'all girls fight. I had boys fighting me, so
That's
You look like you fight boys.
Gonna get knocked out.
Gina was the playground bully.
Listen, no, I wasn't. I was always I was like you, Skilly. I wasn't a popular kid in school. People, well, I shouldn't say that because I felt like I wasn't popular because that wasn't what I was looking for. But I noticed when I got older in school, people just knew me, and I would be like, I don't know them. How do they know me? But they thought I was nice.
No, I wasn't the nice one in school. I was not. I was popular, but I was unnice. I didn't like anybody.
Yeah,
that's hard to believe, Erica.
I didn't like nobody. I talked shit to everybody. I was so mean in school.
Mind you, she was about 85 pounds.
Right. I was small. I was like 5. I'm still 5 feet, but I was like 80 pounds, and boys and girls didn't like me. And I used to fight every day.
I always fought boys. Oh, wow. In elementary, every fight I got into was with a boy. Every one of them. And it wasn't never me. They were always picking at me. And I'm like,
it's wild because as men, the three of us could probably sit on here and be like, yeah, I never got into a fight in school.
I got into them. I stayed fighting.
I was too cool.
I hated fighting, but it was always some boy picking with me. I can remember every single year. I even remember some of their names.
No, I used to wake up, be like, who I'm gonna fight today? That was just that person. I was that person.
She was ready.
Right, every day.
She made a list out. Who's gonna get their ass kicked today? Erica's ass kicking list.
That's it.
Like somebody getting it.
Who the first person that blinked?
Right. Somebody just breathe in my ear.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get somebody today got on a red backpack. First red backpack I see, I'm stealing off on them.
I just had no patience. I was an angry kid. Like it wasn't even until I got to high school that I was like that though. Because elementary school and
I'm gonna show y'all a picture
of middle school.
I'm gonna show y'all.
I was quiet until I got jumped.
I'm gonna show y'all a picture of her in a dress one day. Y'all ain't gonna believe it.
Shut up.
Y'all ain't gonna believe it.
Shut up.
You said you got jumped?
Yeah. The first time I had a fight, I got jumped. And then after that, it was just like, if you looked at me wrong, I'm fighting you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened to my little brother. And I had to go all the guys that jumped my little brother had ran his mouth a lot, and that was part of the problem. He's like, oh yeah, you mess with me, my big brother gonna come and get you. I'm like, dude, you gotta stop doing that, Yeah. And so he got jumped one day, and this was this was right over there, down the street from Cypress Terrace. So y'all know Cypress Terrace, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was down the street from Cypress Terrace. My little brother got jumped. All the dudes that jumped my little brother, I had them all, each one of them in the class. And so I had one by one, had to kick somebody's ass in class, you know? And I'm like, dude, y'all know that's my little brother. I don't give a damn how much he run his mouth. You don't touch him.
Right.
You know, you don't mess with him, you know? But that's the stuff that they used to do. And like I said, I stayed fighting, but I never got jumped, you know? And my ass was crazy enough. I mean, I sit there, you know, if you mess with me, I just kick your ass in the hallway and keep it moving, you know? But I mean, I didn't like to fight, but I mean, you know, you did what you had to do.
Yeah.
Man,
I didn't like to fight, but I've
If I ever got into something,
my baby brother ran his mouth all the time, so I get that.
You ever you remember how Hulk Hogan used to be all dramatic when he came in the ring, and it'd be 15 minutes before he started fighting? Everybody gonna know that I'm fighting.
See, that is not me. I'll run up. I won't run up on somebody, but I don't like when I have a very chill personality. I'm very quiet to myself, but when you get me there, I'm there. There's no bringing me back until I get in. I gotta let all that anger out now because you done got me there.
But you see, we're talking about this. Kids don't know that. They don't fight like we used to fight. We use our fists. Nowadays, kids want to shoot.
Yeah.
You know, they want to shoot. I mean, hell, we would have a fight without, it could be your friend or whatever. You going to fight, you're not going to be cool for the weekend. And come Monday, you're back cool again.
Yep.
You know, that's what we did. Nowadays, I mean, you know, these kids don't even give it a chance. You know, they go out there and shoot their friend and like, oh man, I should have done that. Dude, I mean, everybody's going to have disagreements. Yeah. That's just part of life. You know, but they take it too far nowadays. You know, like I said, we could sit there and get in a fight with people, and next thing you know, a couple of days later, a couple of weeks later, we cool again.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. These kids are too sensitive. I say that about my kids all the time. Every time I say, so me and Billy had a discussion earlier today, and I know one of my flaws is that I'm very blunt with my kids. I talk to my kids like I would talk to somebody on the street if they piss me off. They'll be like, you don't have to speak to them like that. I'm like, why not? If they're being grown, I'm gonna speak to them like they're grown, but they're still sensitive.
Yeah,
yeah.
Billy be trying to watch for their feelings, but they over here doing grown shit. Why are you protecting their feelings? And he be like,
yeah, look, Billy does like my wife does. Me, same thing. I'm straight to the point, you know. And I sit there, my kids come and say something or whatever, and I sit there and tell them in the heartbeat, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard. You know? And I said, I mean, I don't give a damn. My wife, why don't you sit there, just bring it down? No, because that's some dumb shit, you know? Why would you come at me with some stupid shit like that?
And the sad part is they already know that's how you're going to respond, so don't come to me if you don't want to hear it. Yeah. That's what I tell my daughter. I'm like, you already know what I'm going to say. So if you know me. What I'm going to say, just fill in the blank and don't ask me.
You know? Dad, what do you think about this? That's some crazy shit. You know, why would you do that? Oh, well, I just thought, maybe you would approve. Nah, you ought to know. You know me better than that. You know damn well I'm going to tell you. That's the craziest shit I ever heard. You do some dumb shit like that, you deserve whatever comes. You know? Boyfriend. You sit there and tell them about boyfriends. They sit there and bring, guys over to the house or whatever, and first thing, and which I probably shouldn't have done, did the boys the way I would do them and stuff like that. I'm looking at you, I'm like, you're a gang member or some shit. You throwing up gang signs? What? No, Daddy's not. Well, why the hell he look like that? Why he come to my house, pants hanging down to his damn ankles and shit like that? Drawers showing with a scarf around his damn neck. I'm like, come on, man. That ain't how you. Huh?
Nothing. I don't see nothing wrong with your questions, Ray. My daughter knew
no,
she
no, that's what I'm saying.
Pull your pants up, because my mom, if she see your pants sagging, she gonna trip. I sure am.
But look, these boys now, the ones that, I ran away from the house, doing good now. That's what I'm saying. They're doing good. And oh yeah, I remember when I came to your house, your dad had me scared. I'm glad I had you scared, because I'm not supposed to, be Mr. Nice Guy, invite you in. Oh, come on over, eat up all my food, hang out.
Right.
Nah,
That's
I'm about
how
to
he
Will
telling
Smith and
me.
what's his name? Will Smith and what's the other little guy's name in Bad Boy? That's how I'm about to do your ass.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
checking you
I
at the
love
door.
that scene. I love that scene.
Yeah, I'm checking your ass at the door. That's it. You better come with the right card, otherwise you better keep it moving. And
Right.
that's it. That's how you have to do. But like I said, these kids nowadays are sensitive. And you can't be sensitive. I mean, you can't fall into their little sensitivity trap and shit like that. Because the real world doesn't conform to
They
that
don't
shit.
care about that. They don't
Yeah.
care about that.
Right.
They don't give a damn about your feelings. You go to a job or whatever, you don't like your boss talking to you a certain way. Oh, don't talk to me like that. Well, you find you another job.
Yep.
you know. And I tell mine because my youngest one, she's sensitive. You know, she sits there and talk about how they talk. When she was at her last job, how they were talking to her. I say, come on, man, you should be used to that. I talk to y'all like that every day since you were little.
Yeah.
You know, all that baby talk shit. You didn't do baby talk in my house. I tell everybody, oh, gaga goo goo. No, hell, my kids ain't talking no gaga goo goo.
Yeah.
You talk to them like you would a regular person. We
Right.
don't do baby
Or
talk.
or you respond to them with the same energy, because that's one thing I don't tolerate at my job. You're not your tone. If your tone want to come reckless, don't be upset when mine come back
My
at you.
tongue go reckless. Yep.
Yep, yep.
Because I'm not gonna disrespect you. You're not gonna disrespect. I had one of our staff attorneys do that. He came at me real reckless. I was like, and I was on the phone. He couldn't tell I was on the phone. I finished up my phone call, and I was like, let me calm down, because my immediate response probably wasn't gonna be. So I'm trying to calm down. Then his legal assistant comes in my office and says, "I'm so sorry," because she the one who said something that got him coming to my office with this reckless talking. And I was like, you know what? Let's do this. I pushed away from my desk. I'm like, let me go find him, because we got to address this. Like, you're not going to just talk to me any kind of way. And he
Right.
did apologize, but I was like, before he was upset about something that wasn't even right. Why come in here talking to me in a way that you did, and you didn't even question what you was coming in there for to begin with?
Yep.
So now you
Look.
got me in a negative space of energy on some stupid stuff.
Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say, and I tell people I'm a work in progress. I've been a work in progress since the day I was born. You know,
Facts.
and I said, one thing that you don't want to
We
take and do, and which I try not to do, is to go backwards with certain things. And I know my mouth can get me in trouble, and I know my temper can get me in trouble. And I had one of my supervisors. Well, he's not a supervisor anymore. He's no longer with the company. But this joker, tried that one time with me, talking crazy and stuff, you know, and I had to put him in, and I put him in this place, but I did it in a nice way. And
Yeah.
then when we had our little, our what we call our one-on-one meet, he's going on and he's talking about, hey, I want to apologize, for talking to you like that. It's just sometimes, I just can't control myself. I said, you know what? Let me explain something to you. All right. I said 20 years ago, I probably would have hit you in your throat. I said, because that's the type of person I was. Nobody talks to me any old kind of way. I say, even my parents don't talk to me any old. They know there's limits. You the respect that you want is the respect that you're gonna get, or
Facts.
how you act or whatever. That what you bring to me or whatever. That's how I'm gonna respond. And I told him, I said, I had to, catch myself before I sit there and address you the way I wanted to address you, because I said I was getting ready to go to hell off. I said, but you know what? I can't do it. I said, I've been to this job too long. I'm not going to take and risk my job or whatever, for somebody who just started,
Right.
Yeah.
But I had to tell this dude, I said, no, you need to sit there and get that stuff under control. Like I said, I've been a work in progress for a long time. And I said, the old me would have took and hit you in your throat. I said, the new me, I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to be in a better place in life, and I ain't trying to just whip people ass just to be whipping ass, Yeah, but I mean, like I said, we grow. We grow. Some of us grow, some don't.
Some
Like I said, me, yeah, I've been a work in progress. You know.
Yes.
What's up,
That's
Auntie?
after that. I was reading the chat. I'm like, they crazy. Everybody like throw punches. That work.
What's that? Throat punches?
Yeah.
A throat punch to shut your ass up. That's one thing to do. It
That's
will
one
shut you
thing.
up. Yeah.
Guns don't
Yeah.
argue. What's going on? Big Riz. Seen a couple people come in here.
I think the main issue are, I'm not going to just blame it on woke parents, but I do blame a lot of woke parents. Like, these woke parents want to be friends with their kids and not realize Kids don't need friends; they need parents.
Yep.
Mhm.
You got
Yeah,
friends in school. You better learn how
yeah.
to use because I ain't one. I ain't in school.
Mhm.
I ain't your friend. I say
That
that real
part.
quick. I ain't your friend. We ain't hanging out. If we hang out, we hanging out at the house or at your house or something like that. We ain't
Yep.
never hanging out at no bar.
No,
You know,
I
Yep.
ain't
I'm
doing
not doing nothing that you do with your friends. If you and your
Yep.
friends smoke weed and stuff like that, hey,
Yep.
so be it. I ain't never gonna smoke weed. Now, if I smoke weed, it'd be by
it by
Yep.
myself.
myself, but I ain't smoking weed with you.
Yep. And
You
it
know,
don't matter how
I,
grown they get. I'm still like that with my 26-year-old.
yeah,
We
little
can
stuff like that.
hang
But I'm not your friend.
as a family, but we are not friends.
Yeah,
Don't talk to me. Don't you talk
yep,
to me like I'm your mother, not your friend.
Right, right.
yeah. But
Mhm.
these so-called woke parents, they ass is still
Right,
asleep.
come
They
here.
been asleep. You know. Yeah, they
Yeah.
ain't woke. I mean, they living
This,
their
this,
so-called
this,
dream,
this
which
the
is
one.
everybody else's nightmare.
This the one right here. She hell. That one hell.
How old is she, Skilly? How old is your
Nah,
daughter?
she'll be 10 in June.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she a
Yeah,
firecracker. Boy, I tell you.
she look like
Oh
she about your height too already.
Skilly,
No, my son might be taller than me. I don't think she gonna hit taller than me. Her mama tall though.
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Your wife is tall. She
Yeah,
be looking down on you.
Uh-oh, we lost
she do.
Ricky.
I don't know what happened to Ray.
It's so right she is. Yes. But yeah, I agree, Erica. Some of these parents just be out here trying to be friends with their
Yeah.
kids. They're not just with their kids' friends. No, they're not your friends.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Hmm. Yeah,
No.
they be having relationships with the communities in such a sense. Your kids have friends that come over and hang out, and before you know it, mom, you I don't want to blame it on men or women, but usually it's mom.
Ray said, "Get that baby some Crocs."
Stuff that they
No,
do,
right?
huh?
I get no Crocs, right? She messed her chances up the other day at the store. Acting like
Damn.
Mm-mm. But yeah, I agree. We gotta, I don't know. We gotta do what we know is right. How we know what we doing is, like I said, there ain't no playbook, but you do what you know you need for your family, for your household.
Right.
Yeah.
that's even man with some of the parents and my wife told me the other day about even with my daughter cheerleading, how parents for the first time but just drop their daughters off and go and leave. Who
Hmm.
you don't even know the staff.
Yeah,
Right.
It makes no sense.
yeah. I gotta know who's gonna be around mine because these
Yeah,
people, they
man.
just people like me.
Yeah,
I need to know who's gonna be around mine. So if something happen, I know who I need to find.
who you need
I'm
to
telling
check.
y'all don't know how real I be about that. I be serious. Like, whew,
You
I
got
don't play
to.
when it come to mine.
You got to.
Hey, Martika.
I was about to say Martika, but I didn't want to mess her name up. I'm glad you said
Yes,
that
that's her name.
That's
Yeah,
why
she
you messing up
changed her
everybody's
spelling.
face.
She changed her way she spelled it, which she could make sure she made the T capital because people kept calling her Marquita. Because they would just look at it too fast.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's Martika. But yeah. I like I said, we do the best we can with the what we got, but we do the best we can for ours. It's
Right.
just that being present is important, like you said, Skilly. That is important. Not just dropping them off and keeping going. Nah, I need to know who you're gonna be around. Even if you might not even be around that person as hanging out, I still want to know who they are,
Yeah.
Right.
Got to. Got to. No.
Shit,
and I don't know names.
So very
my
important.
son, my son lives on. He does well. He has a dorm room, but he just decided to get his own place. I was all in his roommate's room, and he was like, "That's not." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"What? That's not what?
Yeah,
What are you saying? You sharing a house with these other people, and I need to see who's who. I want
that's
to."
right.
Man, every time I go there, he be shaking his head. they all would start cleaning. I'd be like, why y'all clean when I get here? Why don't you have
Right.
it clean before I get here?
Right.
This don't make no sense.
Right.
And they always saying it. I'm the only parent that say something. I'm sorry.
Mm.
Because
And
you're all paying
that
bills.
might be true, but that's okay.
And I always have to tell them, like, listen, this is how y'all trying to have partners, and this is what y'all living like, nasty like this. Like,
Exactly.
y'all worried about shacking up instead of learning how to take care of your personal hygiene. Y'all in college, like this, y'all. Why is your bathroom black and
Yeah.
you rented it white? That
Yeah.
part right there,
That
that's
part.
what I need to understand. I'd
Yeah.
like,
Church going up. Well, you know what? We probably don't. I'm on the fence with that because when I had my youngest, even with my oldest, we went to church a lot. But I have my church ain't always the great teacher of your for your family as either these days. It's
Yeah.
just a lot in this world.
It's
It's
a
a lot.
so eyes and ears. I have a foster mother, and she preaches, right? And she's very strict, but she can be lenient at times as long as we can explain and vocalize ourselves.
Mhm.
But come with the world today and what's going on in the world today, I don't think the churches are stepping up to help mold the kids. And honestly, back then when we was in, I mean, going to church, I'm saying most of us was raised in churches, but churches
yeah,
nowadays are not changing to up with the speed of children, meaning that the elders are set in their ways and they don't want to step down for the younger pastors to come up
yeah,
and preach to these children, which these children do need. So
Yeah.
I agree and I disagree with you because of certain churches are
Yeah.
not willing to do their part or they feel like they don't need to change with the times. And I disagree with that. And my
And
foster mom is one of those. And I have to tell her, you're not reaching these younger kids.
you're
So
not.
you're
Mhm.
preaching to deaf ears because after a couple of years, these elders are gonna die. And
Yes.
now you have some lost children that go to church but still question their faith because they're
Yeah.
not receiving what the elders are speaking.
But you can have a faith-based household without attending a
Right,
You
church.
can.
Just absolutely can. And also, even without keeping up with the times, the thing is, and this is another thing with our elders that have an issue with it sometimes, is they feel like kids have too much, are given, um, they are allowed to speak too much on their mind or talk, like how as parents and we sit down and discuss things
right,
with our children to understand, allow them to feel heard. So it's
right,
not always just you cut it off at what you say and that's the end of the
That's it.
conversation. You allow them to be heard so
Yep.
they understand, okay, I'm hearing you, but I want you to hear me as well as to why this thing is not going to go
Yeah.
no matter what.
right,
So this is why I do this, and this is, why, blah blah blah. And they
right,
feel like you explaining too much. Well, that's how you feel. But guess what? The reason I'm explaining too much is because I didn't like the way you didn't allow me to have a voice.
right,
So because I didn't like that, because I didn't like that it was just, well, this is what I said, and didn't allow for me to feel like my feelings were valid. This is how I am with mine. Now, mind you, I am still a bit of a strict parent. I'm still old school in my ways,
right,
but I still do have conversations with my kids because I want them to understand why I'm doing something
Mm-hmm.
that they may feel is unfair, and they just don't have to deal with it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
right,
The churches are the same way in the fact that now the newer generations question things,
Yeah.
and because you don't have the answers, you come negatively towards their question of that thing.
Yeah.
right,
And that is, another place that they are falling short of is that anybody can read something and fill it back out to other people. But are you understanding what you're speaking
Mm-hmm.
to
right,
other people? In order to teach, You first have to understand yourself.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't teach if you don't. So you may not have all the answers, and that's okay too.
That's fine.
Even as a parent, if you don't know the answer to the thing your child is questioning of you, my kid come to me with stuff all the time. I don't understand a lot of this stuff that is going on in this world now. She'll ask me something, and I'll be like, "Girl, let's Google that because I don't even
That's
know
what
what that is."
That's
You
me and
know,
Alex. And Alex would
listen,
get mad. He'd be like, "How you not know this though?
listen.
Did you not watch the news this morning? Like, shut up."
Let's Google because
You,
mommy, look, I don't know all the things,
you know
and I
what?
gotta act like I
And
do.
I was trying to help my daughter and my son one time with their homework, and it was some that I mean basic, but well the teacher told us this is how we do it. I said, how the hell? What? I said, oh, it was so much simpler back then. All this new how to come up with different other answers. Just give me a
See,
simple
I
one.
like the Common Core though.
Oh no, I don't. It's
I
dumb.
actually like it. To
It's
me,
dumb.
it's like I like it. I'm sorry.
But that's probably I'm a
I like
numbers
it.
person, and math was my strongest subject in school. And I'm like,
Right.
why are they complicating it more?
They're
It's
making it
not
so
that freaking
they're breaking it.
complicated.
They're making them think outside the box. And I think that's
No,
why these kids wait, I think these kids are smarter, but they're more stupider because now it takes them 10 minutes to figure something out rather than it just getting it done. When
Yeah.
I asked Alex to do something,
they
I
say
thought,
that
why
we
is
were
it
a
taking me this
generation of memorization, and we
Right.
kind of were. But for me, math was not memorization. It was just numbers work for
Yeah.
me. It's just how my brain was wired. But because even back then, I used to feel like we took forever to get the answers. I'd be like, why are y'all doing all that? The answer is blah, blah, blah. And they'd be like, no, but you got to show your work.
work?
But
You're
why
right.
it's
Yeah.
as easy as this? And I know everybody doesn't get it that way. Some people do need the work. But Common Core just took it and said, you know what? Let's turn the work into a story question.
That's
A
exactly what they
story
did.
problem.
That's exactly what they did. Alex hates showing his work, and they
Ooh.
have to show their work now on their state test in order to get credit. Even if they get the answer correct, if they don't show their work, they
Yeah.
still get a 0. They still mark it 1 because they didn't show their work.
Yeah.
Alex hates it.
How many of y'all do homework with your kids and be telling the book that the book is wrong? Be like, no,
Yo,
yo, the book is wrong.
this guy, he be
Because it
arguing
is
with the book.
wrong. Because it is wrong.
I do the
Because
same
they
thing.
doing the most. They doing the most. And one thing that I remember because I didn't go to college until I was grown. I got pregnant at 19, well 18 and had her at 19, so I didn't go to college. Then I went later. When I went, I realized how much of college we spend money for
Oh
that
my
is irrelevant
Yeah,
to
God.
what we are going to do
Yeah.
for what we're going to school with. They are just taking money for nothing.
don't say that, Gina, because I just talked about going back to school for the 5th time, and Billy's
Girl, they
over
just
it.
it's inevitable. You just it's part of it. You can't get around it. But most of that you're paying for is irrelevant to what you're doing.
It's true.
And the reason you know it as an adult is because you're already working. So you already know that this information is not going to be
What?
relevant to what you're doing. But yet you want me to do this? Why am I paying my money for this?
Hey,
Right.
Gina, you never know when a photosynthesis conversation is going to pop up.
Now listen, when I took ethics, I failed it twice. And I mean, I didn't fail it to where I couldn't go past it, but I got a D in it twice. If you get a D, you can still go past it. But first time I got a D, I was like, I could do better than this. But ethics is boring, and I don't give a about it. I don't care. I don't care about the stuff that I was like, oh no. Mm-mm.
Big
And
Riz.
ethics in book form is not ethics in life, people. So don't take it as people shouldn't have ethics. They should. The curriculum of ethics is totally different.
Big Riz, I agree with you. I agree the kids nowadays have no boundaries. I think the kids nowadays, the parents don't want the community to help raise their kids. They want to raise their kids their way,
That's
and
it.
that's why they don't have boundaries.
Yeah. I told
Yeah,
mine. I said, you see mine down the street, you snatch their ass up.
that's how I am.
Snatch his ass up.
I
Snatch her
literally
ass up.
just had a conversation with one of my oldest cousins. I saw her in the store earlier today, and she was talking about something with her oldest child. And I said, well, I always had a community of
Yeah.
people around me that I trusted, that when something went down with her Destiny, which is my oldest, I called my community in, because some things I'm not going to get through to her on, because I'm mom.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I wasn't a 16-year-old or 15-year-old girl before. Never. But I had that community of people, and I trusted them, and they would snatch her up, come get her. They'd be like, I'm coming to get her this weekend. I'm going to talk to her. We're going to do this, do that. And they would. You got to have community. You just do. Somebody, you got to have somebody. You can't say, well, I don't mess with nobody. My circle is small. I get that. But you got to have some kind of circle.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
You just do. It's important. Because there's only so much we can get through to with our kids.
I agree. That's why you need to let Alex go to New York. He needs his.
Ain't
peace.
it just like about 10 feet from the earth?
That's
That's where.
Hey, y'all want to hear something?
No.
You want to hear something about the sun?
Go ahead.
Mhm.
So the Polish astronaut team had made a new discovery, and they wanted to have like a world, I don't know, conference or whatever. And they brought all the astronaut teams on from Russia, US, all that. And they said, hey, well, Poland, why you got us here? What's the big deal? Say we're going to do something in aeronautics that nobody's ever done before. And they said, well, then what the hell is it? Tell us. They said, we're gonna land on the sun. And they said, get the hell out of here. You're crazy. They said, you Polacks always thinking of some crazy stuff. And they said, don't you want to know how we're gonna do it? So the US was like, yeah, tell us how you're gonna do it. They said, we're gonna go at night.
This guy. I thought it was a real thing.
He got me sucking down in.
I know. I'm all focused. Like, I never heard this before.
What's funny is that probably is a true story. Because it's somebody who think they got it figured out. But if it's nighttime, then the sun it's gonna go down, the fire gonna go down, and it's gonna be cool enough for us to go land on it.
Get in, get out. Damn it.
Oh my goodness.
Polish jokes. My bad.
Somebody thinking that.
Well, y'all, I had such a good time with you guys. I love coming on, chopping it up. Thank you, Billy, once again, who did my thumbnail. I love my brother.
Sure.
Great brother. Oh, Coy, what's going on? Come on,
Coy.
$2. Hey, go check out $2. He got that seasoning. You can put it on.
Pay $2.
You can put it on anything. Barbecue sauce too. He do the barbecue sauce.
I got that sauce, and I tried it last week. $2. I got the spicier one. I can't remember exactly what it was called now.
Oh, I like that spicy one.
That sauce. That's the one I got, and I tried it last week. It was good. I had smoked some chicken legs in the smoker, and I put that sauce on it. I had it on 3 days last week.
You could put it on corn on the cob. You could put that shit on potatoes.
You could put it on the inner thigh if you want to.
Outer thigh and the inner thigh.
You put that shit on somebody's inner thigh. Burning.
Stop there. That's all I'm saying. Stop there.
You're gonna be on fire.
See, I had actually forgot I ordered it. It showed up last week. I was like, oh, I'm about to put that on my chicken.
Hey, Skilly, you can only do that with the vinegar.
Spicy apple vinegar. That's what I got.
Oh, that's the one.
Yep.
Red stuff.
Mm-mm-mm.
If you ain't tripping, then you tripping. That's my big uncle.
That's what they say.
Listen. Yeah. That's good.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you letting us come hang out with you, brother.
Of course. Y'all know y'all invited anytime.
For sure.
You start your soil.
I told him to wait. So he's supposed to get his shelves, his things built up. I was sitting here doing this when I decided to tap in, get my seeds started.
Right. All you need, I'm gonna send you the starter trays. All you gotta do is put the soil in the starter trays and put
He
your
said he
seeds
wasn't
in
gonna
there.
do them inside, so I told him he need to wait to plant outside, but he could go ahead and get everything set up.
Yeah, he over here playing games. I know.
No, I don't know what you're talking about, Erica.
You could be having the kids helping you. That's a family thing. You and the kids
I
need
get
to
my
build
kids
it
out there
together.
and my grandson.
You and your son could build it, and then you and your daughter could do the gardening part.
Okay, I'll take this.
Bonding.
No,
There you
Wife
go.
get out there too.
You know what? You know what he just said to y'all? Get the fuck off the live. Let's go.
Right.
That's what he did say.
He said, I gotta find room on my concrete.
Okay.
Right. First, I gotta find a room on the concrete.
I gotta go to work and make real money. Okay.
Listen.
I'm gonna do what y'all said sooner or later. Hey.
Don't listen to Billy. Billy's
Hey,
absolutely wrong.
If you don't appreciate anything Skilly say or do today, just pray that shirt could fit a little tighter next week. That nigga got a loose small. How you get a loose small?
It is though. It is Skilly.
That motherfucker so loose. It's so loose it look like a V-neck. God damn. Hey, Skilly, that shirt you holding, put that shit underneath that shirt.
Look at you, Billy.
Billy always try to grill.
Oh my God. Ray Fisher, be nicer to your kids.
They don't do it because they gonna think you mad at them.
Hey, Ray, fuck them kids.
Yeah. Keep that energy, Ray, because if you change up, they're gonna be like, dang, what we do?
Right.
That being nice.
He got a fever. Is he on his damn bed? No. Then he gonna be like, then he really gonna be like, you know what? Get your stupid ass out of my face.
Exactly.
Oh man.
He said those kids
kiss my
There you go. Keep that energy.
Oh man, I had fun, y'all. That was a fun
This is
subject,
fun.
man. Definitely get to know your children.
What up, Mir?
Definitely. What's up, Mir? Definitely get to know the children. You're not gonna know everything. Let's be real. As parents,
You don't want to know everything about
you don't want to know everything. You're not gonna
Just
know
like
everything.
they don't want to know everything about us.
Right.
Right.
So
yeah, they don't want to know everything.
So spend some time with them. That's what me and my son. Thank you to two that did hit the cash out. We're gonna go buy some ammo for little Jamal. Thank you for hitting the cash out. He greatly appreciated. I appreciate it as well. We're definitely going to be sending some ammo downrange. Thank you guys for doing that for him. I appreciate this community. Definitely has been a great community to me and my family. Able to learn, able to, get to know people, real genuine people that cares about the family aspect of what's going on in the world today. So thank you guys from my family to yours. Guess what, Mom and Daddy going? Oh, Ray, you so nasty. You're so nasty, Ray.
Skilly, next year y'all gotta wait until we come up with the dates for the meetup, because you can't plan no vacations until you get the meetup days.
I know. I told my family, if you're gonna do a vacation, I gotta let you know when I'm available.
Damn.
I was up there at Billy was over there. I don't know if you was listening, Erica, with Hush this morning.
Oh yes.
He was talking about, you gotta meet, if you say you these people, your family, you gotta meet them. I'm like, he right though. I was like, I gotta make some things shake.
You do.
I am.
Like C said, if you gotta leave him behind, just leave him behind. Just bring him back to souvenir.
Right. I gotta make some things shake.
Oh man. All right, y'all, man. I'm out of here. I gotta go get this my godson back home. I went to go pick him up yesterday. He had a little date, you know, a little date last night. So I go pick his little butt up. So
Yeah.
take him home. Just a bunch
Yeah,
of
I gotta
kids.
finish cooking before I get evicted.
Right. I think I am finished cooking. I need to go check my food.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all, especially my panel of my family, you know, coming up and helping me.
Yes.
Appreciate you
Anytime,
guys.
Billy. Anytime.
All right.
Yeah.
Y'all be safe. Definitely be diligent in everything you do. Definitely watch yourself, man. I know this week we had a big shooting downtown in Detroit, man. They already acting crazy, so man, just be careful.
Billy, end the live. You keep starting conversations. End the live.
Bye, y'all. I just got cussed out by my sister. End the live. There you go. I ended it.
Chicken woman.